And since the first Cars, we've lost Paul Newman,
Right.
George Carlin. Was it, hard to fill their shoes in this film?
I think they got a sound alike for George Carlin and Paul Newman. It's Paul Newman. And plus, he was like the elder statesman of the town.
Yeah.
So his role was way bigger than Carlin's was, But they do, you'll see when you see the movie, but that's the cool thing about Pixar. Their writing is so good. They do a great little tribute to Paul Newman without going overboard with it.
Right.
And it's really sweet.
It sounds like you've seen the finished film. I'm just curious, in the production notes for Cars 2, they said this movie is probably the most technically complicated movie that Pixar has ever done. So with that in mind, having seen the finished film, can you talk about any particular scene that is a great example of that? And the second part to that question is Mater goes out of the country for the first time. I'm curious to know, what was your first trip out of the country and what that was like for you?
Oh, well, the first half of the question is, yeah, it was tough. There's a lot of things in there that they hadn't done before that is awesome. So much to the fact I have seen the film, it wasn't completed yet. They didn't even have it done. There was probably, 15 minutes in there where there was different words and this didn't match this and some of the scenery wasn't done because it is so complicated. But what is done that I saw, unbelievable, unmatched of anything I've ever seen. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it. It's beyond my comprehension because I don't do cartooning or animation, but it's unbelievable the stuff they do. The second question, I've only been to 3 foreign countries, really. I mean, come foreign countries. I mean, Canada, Canada and LA and Miami. That's it.
You said that this Cars is a complete 180 turn. From the trailers, it looks like there's a lot more action.
Oh, yeah.
But does this Cars have a similar heart that the first Cars did?
Yeah, you know what? It has complete. The action is nonstop because Mater's a spy and they're trying to get Mater. Mater's got some information, so not only are they trying to get the information, they're trying to kill Mater. And he's so good at being Mater, that's why they think he's a spy. There's nobody that can actually act that way, they think. So that's why they think he's a spy. But yeah, it's there's tons of heart in it. I mean, like you were saying earlier, does Mater look at himself like everybody's looking at him like he's an it? Mater doesn't know. Mater's himself. He is who he is, and he doesn't think about that kind of stuff. But later on in the movie, he starts to realize that there's some people that are doing that. And it makes him sad that happens. And so that's where the heart of the movie comes from. The heart of the movie comes from Mater and McQueen. McQueen thinks Mater's screwing up the race. And there's, believe it or not, there's just as much, if not more heart in this movie than it was in the first one. And the first one was crazy. So, I mean, with all the action that's going on and still all the heart that they put in it with Mater and McQueen and Mater and the other characters that are involved with him, it's really awesome.
It sounds like he's an even bigger focal point in the second movie. Is he first?
Yeah, he is. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from McQueen, but yeah, Mater's the shit.
Coming from the world of...
Pretty much, I mean, he really is. Look,
certainly everybody's favorite character. Let's
yeah, he's awesome. How can you not like the guy? You're a communist if you don't like him.
Coming from the world of stand-up, which other stand-up comics out there do you think are ready to be Pixar voices that you would vouch for?
Jeez, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. What? You?
No, I'm not a comic.
Oh, who am I?
Who's your man?
Jeff?
Sure, he would definitely
Yeah.
fit Cars.
Oh, Jeff would be great Jeff would be great in a character. Now, I'm not saying that because he was part of Blue Collar. He would be really good at that. He's done a couple other voices, but he's got a good range of voices to him. So he'd be good at that. There's, I'm not gonna. You know what? I got a lot of comedy friends.
Fair.
I don't want to name 3 and then have everybody else go, "Hey, dude, what the hell?" So let's just put it at Jeff would be good. Jeff is my mentor, so I've known him since the '80s, And he does all those kids' books, and he does a lot of funny voices too that nobody would know about, so I think he would be fine.
Cool.
Two more questions, sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks. I haven't seen the movie yet either, but it sounds like Mater, one of the things he gets upset about is that people are laughing at him and not necessarily with him.
Right.
So as a stand-up comic, do you feel that there's like a fine line between the two?
Well, in comedy, I mean, look, if I was a stand-up comedian, I'm on stage and they're laughing, I don't care if it's with me or at me. You know, either way, I'm getting paid for filling the seats. Mater's not a comedian, so Mater definitely wants people to laugh with him while he's having fun, but he doesn't want to be laughed at because he hasn't done anything to deserve that. You know, but two different things altogether. As a comedian, I've always, you know, there's only one comedian that ever said, well, I don't know if they're laughing because it's funny or they're laughing because they're just laughing at me because I'm not funny. And I'm thinking, who cares? They're laughing. I mean, if you can go on stage and they're laughing at you full on for 60 minutes, you know, whatever puts them in the seats.
Well, speaking of which, could you just quickly tell us about any of your upcoming projects?
Yeah, you know what? All I ever wanted to do was dance. And so I've got this show I've written called Dance, Dance, Dance. And
I don't know if you're pulling it out like
no, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Any tall tales?
There's Tall Tales. We're gonna start doing some Tall Tales after this movie's over. We'll do some more Mater Tales. As far as me personally, I'm in Tooth Fairy 2. Comes out in January for Fox Home Video.
Are you playing Tooth Fairy?
I'm the Tooth Fairy. Yeah, they figured The Rock was too in shape, so they got somebody else.
He's retired his
Yeah.
hardened tights.
Yes, he has. So that's the next project I have. Other than that, just touring and raising kids. That's about it.
Well, quick question, I mean.
Hopefully next year, towards the end of the year, I can say we're starting to do Cars 3.
Do you see yourself, you mentioned The Rock, I mean, the persona that you've created, Larry the Cable Guy persona, do you see that perhaps, much like The Rock became Dwayne Johnson, you may do a film not as Larry the Cable Guy, or a project?
You know what? If a project came up that I liked, I wouldn't mind doing it. You know, but yeah, I think that's a great similarity. You know, he came up as The Rock, and he wanted to be Dwayne Johnson. I got to tell you, I have way too much fun being Larry the Cable Guy. You know, and just like Dwayne Johnson and The Rock, that was a character he created. He's not too far. I mean, he's still The Rock.
Sure. Yeah.
To whereas when I'm doing my History Channel show, I come out of character a lot on that show. I'm still Larry the Cable Guy, but I'm coming out of character a little bit.
Well, since cable is, it's going to be Larry the Hulu Guy at some point, so, you might have to.
You know what? I don't even see it as cable TV anymore. I've been called Larry the Cable Guy for so long, I don't even think of it being about cable. I don't even know anything about cable. Are you kidding me? I don't know how to do coax.